As you all may know, I have been studying this topic for quite some time now. Last speech, I even did an information speech about it. Well, a lot has changed since then. Since we last spoke, coronavirus has spread to every single continent except for Antarctica. It has caused widespread panic buying, pandemonium, and hysteria all over the world. And most importantly, it has finally reached our community, our home, Kenosha, Wisconsin. Today, class, I will be discussing why quarantine is good and what are the benefits for it. Now, my credibility spans from all the way from last speech, but that's not just it. I have been researching this type of thing since early January, since before it even left China. I've read multiple articles, and I've read all of the CDC articles on it, and I continue to look at live updates as they come through. So for the first problem, I will be talking about the rate of spread with this disease. And for my second problem, I will be discussing the economic impact this disease has. The first problem is the sick people and how fast this transmission spreads. Now, this is something that has never been seen before. The rate of spread has never been seen before. The CDC states that household members, intimate partners, and caregivers, many may stay with a symptomatic lab-confirmed person or a person under investigation. Close people should monitor health and report new symptoms about COVID-19, and this is a solution to the first problem. Now I have another solution by the health department that says even if you feel well, stay inside as much as possible. In the public, keep at least 6 feet of distance, avoid unnecessary appointments. Guys, this stuff is because this virus spreads so fast. It is spreading at a rate that the modern world has never seen before. And there are not enough test kits. And one big problem with how fast this spreads is keeping hospitals from being overrun, and so that people need to which is why quarantine is important. My bad, guys. And Houston Method also states you will need to restrict your activities as much as possible, including going to work, going to school, which I know a lot of schools have been canceled, and public areas such as grocery stores and stuff. I know those have been really important since this outbreak has broken out, and a lot of people have been going to grocery stores. But the best way to avoid this rate of spreadtivity, is to avoid grocery stores in populated densely areas like that. It is only leave if you need to see a doctor, which should be pre-scheduled. So those 3 sources have all said only leave if you really need to see a doctor. And I know some states don't have that much, like in terms of lockdown and stuff, but this is going to spread, I promise you guys. It is spread in Italy, where it's gotten out of hand. It is spread now to New York, where it's gotten out of hand. It's going to spread, which is why we all need to take this seriously. Which brings me to my second problem, the economic impact. I am almost positive that this is going to bring us into a recession. And there are a few things that I can explain. And the first is the stock market crashing, which shows physical evidence of data. And in fact, the stocks have fallen so far that they've now reached below the beginning of Trump's 4-year term, which is just insane because the stocks have grown so much since those 4 years, and to lose all that progress is just unprecedented. And also, another thing is I work at Festival Foods. I am a lead receiving manager, so I see firsthand the impact on the economy that this is having. There are supply shortages all over the place. Stores are now struggling to get their supplies, which is pretty much a precursor of things to come. Now, there is a solution to this, as crazy as that sounds. And And real quick before I continue, I'm sorry to anyone that may have gotten laid off or lost their job because of this. Hopefully this will help you. Now, my solution for this is to pay attention to jobs. Pay attention to what jobs are rising in popularity and pay attention to what jobs are failing in popularity. For example, grocery stores. I know for my grocery store, Festival Foods, is hiring right now because we need all the help we can get. That is a consistent job during this crisis. I am not worried about losing my job or getting laid off, and I know that the health department has stated that grocery stores must stay open in a crisis like this because the public needs food. It is also good to look closely at trends in the economy and the market, such as even checking your stocks once a day. What is doing good? What's doing bad? And the last thing I would say that is most important to this solution is don't rely on something like an economic stimulus to just get you through this, because it's going to get much worse than this. I know Trump has proposed an economic stimulus plan, which is actually amazing for a ton of people that are going to need it, but you should not rely on this to pay your bills, because it's not going to. It's not going to be that much. This is just to stimulate the economy, boost spending, encourage it so we don't keep falling. This is supposed to help stabilize us. So yes, it's good, but don't just be waiting on that to get you through, because it's going to be a lot harder and you're not going to be able to do it with just an economic stimulus. Now, in conclusion, this is a global problem, guys, where we are seeing panic buying, hysteria, and not only that, but it's a global problem in the fact that it's spreading everywhere, and it is spreading so fast, and there are so many countries working on a solution for this. And we have, and not to mention the economies that are collapsing because of this. Italy cannot keep up with the hospitals, with patients going to hospitals. It's getting that bad. There are so many deaths. There's so much unemployment because of the deaths. So self-quarantine is, in fact, the best method to protect yourself. This has gotten out of hand, and there is no running away from it now. The only thing you can do is to prepare yourself as much as possible, and I truly believe that self-quarantine is going to help you with that. It's going to help you avoid that spreadtivity. It's going to clear up hospitals so people can get in and not get overrun. And not to mention, if you're not sick, you are able to work. With that being said, this has never been seen by anyone, and I know I said that last speech, but I'm talking to 50-year-old truckers, and I'm talking to my father, who is 50 as well, and they're all saying that this is unprecedented and has never been seen before. So that's pretty crazy. It is extremely weird times for sure. Now, I'd like to thank you all. Thank you all for tuning in and watching my speech. I hope you guys stay safe as possible, stay quarantined, stay healthy, don't forget to wash your hands. Thank you guys.